Alright guys, welcome to the 2023 race season. My first race with ARMA, my first race of the year, and my very first race on the Aprilia RS660. We were at Roebling Road Raceway in Faulkville, Georgia. This is my old home track. We lived down there for quite some time. I raced here from 95 to about 2004. And got a lot of miles on this track. It's got fresh pavement as of last year, and I'm giving you a little bit of drone footage so you can see what the track's like. It's a really fast track, real fast sweeping turns. It's not very technical. It's got a really long front straightaway, as you can see on the right hand side, and I'm pretty much using 4th, 5th, and 6th gear on the track. As you can see, ARMA had a great turnout. This is their round 1 on Saturday, round 2 on Sunday, and I was entered in the Sound of Thunder 2 class with the RS660, and that's because it exceeds the 650cc limit for the Sound of Thunder 3 class, which I rode my 2007 SV650 in. So as you can see, good turnout, lots of people there. Met up with a lot of old friends, James Bach, Mark Morrow, Ed Bargy. I used to teach for his school back in the day. Met up with a lot of my old friends that are still out there racing and teaching, and really had a great time. We stayed with some friends for the week. So let's get started with the race. I completely blew the start, and you're going to see that in a second. So we're getting ready, watching the numbers. Green goes, bing, starts the wheelie and shuts the bike off. Boom, 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 boom. I was like, what is going on? I was on pole position for this race because of my sign up, and I was dead last going into turn 1. I think there was 24 bikes signed up, 19 started on the grid, and I managed to work my way back up to around 12th place on the first lap because my statistics only show I gained 4 positions after the first lap. But yeah, it was a horrible, probably the worst start I've ever had in my life. But I started picking my way through the crowd pretty quick, and I'm a little bit off the normal line for this track, and I always have been, and I'll talk about that as we go around the track. I'm in love with the Aprilia RS660. What a great bike, what an easy bike to ride. It really felt good. This was being my first time actually riding the bike. I picked it up, brought it home, rode it up the driveway, and completely stripped it down. So I hadn't ridden it at all, and I had a couple days of practice before the racing started, and I was feeling pretty good. James Bach, the Pirelli guy, I've known James for years, and he hooked me up with a great set of Pirellis, and man, the grip was just amazing. So into turn 1, you'll see I keep a real tight line. A lot of guys will fade out over that little patch line there and then cut in on 2. But I'm carrying the same amount of speed, and I'm keeping a really tight protective line going through 1 and 2. Here's turn 3, a really fast corner on this track. And we're going in, and I've got quite a few people in front of me I want to get by in a relatively short amount of time. Solo 2 was working great. Lap times were within 100th or 1,000th of a second compared to the transponder on the bike and the scoring. So that worked out really well. And right here, I'm shifting into 5th gear, going up onto the front straightaway, and probably the fastest corner on the track. And then just you get in as much as you can, get tucked down, and shift 6th gear and just hold it pinned. So that lap was a 122. Coming down into 1, you can always go deeper than you think you can, and I had been working on extending that the entire time I was there. As my good old friend Ed Bargy says, turn 1, it separates the men from the boys and the boys from their bikes. Through 3 again, and my predictive lap timing, you can see I'm getting some green lights, so I'm doing a little bit better on this lap and through these sectors. Come around 5, coming down the hill. It's not much of a hill, there's very little elevation change, but it's kind of an off-camber turn here to the right. Get it in tight. Upshift to 5th, and just hold it at a good clip coming up on the front straightaway, and then just keep it pinned. Now we drop 2 into 1. And we're already catching back markers from the slower class that started behind us. And for the most part, they were holding their line and staying out of the way. But I was really amazed with the amount of grip I was getting out on the track. The pavement's about a year old. So my Solo 2 showing a 129.4, and my best lap was a 120.717, and I know there's more there. I could have definitely gotten faster with a little more time on the track and a little more practice on this bike. Again, this is my first race with Arma, my first race on the Aprilia, and you know, I only had 2 days of riding the bike prior to that. Get a little bit slower as I'm picking through traffic. And I've got these next 2 in my sights. Now I'm running completely stock suspension. I do have Öhlins cartridges for the front on order and a rear shock. The stock suspension was working really well at this track. It's not a taxing track on the suspension, and I probably could have dialed it in a little bit more. I was starting to get some chatter the harder I pushed it, just in the front. The rear felt pretty decent. And there's the 127.17 lap. And the gentleman in front of me, Daniel Miller, super nice guy. Met him over the weekend. We were helping each other out with a few things on the SVs. Really good rider. And one thing you'll notice about Arma, they don't have an expert amateur split. Everybody runs together. So whether you're just starting racing or you've been racing 20 years and won a million championships, everybody runs together. And Of course, I just started back racing last season. I did 4 rounds with Niemer in New Hampshire, bumped up to my amateur status, and I'm looking forward to this year and getting my lap times down up at Loudon. Not really. I know we're doing over 100, probably 110, 115 through turn 5, or turn 9, I'm sorry, and make the pass. And that's the last pass I'm going to make for the race. The rest of the front of the group is pretty much checked out. First place bike was turning a 115. I'm not sure what he was riding, but man, that's quick. There was another Aprilia RS660 in the race. I think his best lap time was a 118 and change. So I was leaving a little bit on the clock there for sure. Pretty much open road in front of me now, and I'm just trying to pick up whatever I can. I think one of my biggest problems is to continue to improve when I don't have somebody I'm chasing or a faster guy in front of me, and I need to work on that. Down the front straightaway, last lap. Still around a 121.18, a low 121. And turn 3 right there, that's where I had my mishap on Sunday. And I'll talk about that in another video. And that was on my SV650. Last time around the bottom of the track. Coming up to 9, 5th gear, wicking it on, tucking in, and taking the checker flag. There we go. So that's my first race for the 2023 season. Sound of Thunder 2 with Arma at Roebling Road. And here's my stats for the race. So finished 8th of 25. There were 25 bikes signed up. I think there were 19 on the grid. There were a few that didn't start. Positions gained were 4, and that's because I worked my way up to around 12th after the start, or after my lousy start, I should say. Personal best lap time was 120.717. and an average lap speed of 90.093. That was my best average lap speed. So we're going over 90 miles an hour for a lap. It says a total lap of 7. And there you have it. So, hope you enjoy the video. If you enjoy the video, make sure you click that subscribe button and hit the bell for notifications. A thumbs up helps the algorithm. Hey, and if you're out there riding on 2s, make sure you keep that shiny side up, rubber side down. And as always, have yourself a great day.